range theory. Now, I said candle range theory is always a combination of 2 or 3 candles. Now, first thing first, we have the mother candle itself, which is always like the main candle. Now, is that one that we are targeting either the high or the low, depending on the kind of candle that it is. Now, if it is a let's say it is a bearish candle now that closes like this. So now you have to watch out for the next one that opens from this low right here. So now once the next candle opens, now you want to see that one go down, like take out that low. Now once it takes it out, now it will now come back and close inside this low. As long as it doesn't close below this low, now the CRT is this thing strong and valid. But anything that makes it to close above this close below this guy here, then of course it's not valid. But since it are just taking it out and come back, so it's just telling us that okay, but sellers are trying to continue, but they couldn't. The buyers took over from them, and then the candle has closed. Now automatically, the next thing that I will now do is to now apply key level. I can just go ahead and check if there's any key level around this place on lower time frame, then I'll take it, because I know that the market will surely retrace back to it to pick up those other orders, and then it will start going. And then if I want to wait for the third candle like other traders do, now what I will expect is, since this one has closed like this, I want to see another candle that will now come back here, open, and then still close above this guy. Now everything must still be in at least 50% of this guy. All these 3 candles must not go above 50% of this candle. If it goes above 50% of it, then possibility of this thing actually like coming back and still holding for you might actually be like very, very low. But since it's still within that 50% of this guy, like something like this, for example, that Fibonacci to just use it, and we see that okay, we are still below this 50% where this first 2 has from. Then definitely it might just reach here and then come back into the key level, which this OC that will be around there, and then come and take us back up. But always make sure that okay, there is something triggering that particular CRT that you want to use. But I'll talk about that one now. So let's head down to this side. Now, for this particular trade, this morning when I saw it, that time, Wesley, when you told me something about CHF, you were like you're saying something on GBY, and then you said one CHF. So the CHF, I did not get the exact CHF. So let's say I can't go and say I just entered this and I went to go and be looking for USD CHF and GBP CHF. I checked GBP CHF. It was also looking bullish, but it wasn't really giving that vibe of say okay, make the thing go hold. Sure you get. So, but then when I saw this one, I was like, okay, fine and good. This one will actually hold. So that was when I came to this guy. So maybe I realized that okay, we already bounced off this particular low here. This low is being respected, and then I can see the liquidity that led to that respect here. So I said, okay, fine and good. Let me see if there's any CRT here. So immediately I spotted this candle. Now this was the high of the candle. Then this was the low. Then I tried to this candle here had not formed. This one here had not formed. The only thing that had formed was this guy, this blue one here, and then this black, and then this fourth one was about closing. So what then I do? Now immediately I spotted it, I just had to like go back to my lower time frame because I already seen a valid CRT. Since this one came back weeks below this guy and then came back to close exactly inside it. So since that, then this one too came out and this one closed above this guy. It closed above this guy. So definitely telling me that okay, there's a valid CRT somewhere here. So what I now did was I went to 1 hour time frame. Now this is exactly how you do it. So going down to 1 hour time frame, I could realize that okay, market is trying to create a shift back to the top. Now the buy might not be too long. It might just be we get to this CRT high here and then it reverses itself. So but saying it, I knew that okay, now I'm now applying Malaysian SNR. Malaysian SNR is also known as the Alchemist that we'll talk about. But the simple thing that we'll just use there is very simple. We use what they call this V shape here. DV here. We expect that okay, when market creates a low, right here, we expect that okay, market will come back and then use it to go up. That's what we are saying. Using this guy here to go. So this is our key level. And then the other one is open and close, where the stores like this, all this open here inside this guy now. This place, we expect that when market gets here, it's actually supposed to respect. But then there should be a valid liquidity before it. You don't just take it anyhow. You should have a valid liquidity. So now me coming back and seeing that okay, fine and good, market created a particular low right here. Now this is it. This is the low. This is the low that we have. So of course I know that this place is going to hold. So what next do I now do? After seeing me, most times, once I see something on 1 hour, I don't always go down to 15 minutes or whatsoever. Whatever I see on 1 hour, if it's corresponding with my 4 hours, I just take it immediately because that's where I saw my CRT. So now going down to 4 hours, I can say that, okay, now this place is with a key level. Now remember what I said about that MSNR. You can see the V guy here. You can see. So this is a very strong key level to push markets back up. And I can see this liquidity that is here online chart too. That's also showing. So I don't want to take this guy since there is still an unfresh this one here. And then at that time, this guy was still open. It was very, very unfresh. So which is why I now decided to carry this guy. So I had to set the order and then waited for it to come back. So maybe he came here and triggered. I started taking it. Now, what did I now use that CRT for? Now, what I used the CRT for was just to mark this low and then know that, okay, if this thing comes to take out this low that is here, that's this week, then I know that market is no longer bullish again. The CRT has been violated even before getting there. But then, where is my TP? My main TP is actually supposed to be at this CRT high, or I take it exactly at this particular place, which is even this place that it has gotten to before. Normally, my CRT TP has already hit. So the essence of candle range theory, just like this is a running trade. Now, the essence of candle range theory is just so that we can be able to have an idea of where the market is headed to. But then why I want to take profit here is because I don't see any reason here on H4 for this market to pull down. But the only thing that Malaysian MSNR, like you asked me that time, I'd be saying is that this open and close here might be a valid zone for the market to fall down. But for me, since it is still within this CRT, I don't really see it pulling the market down. Like, except maybe this candle now breaks this guy and then comes back to close inside it. That's when I know that, okay, a new sell trend might actually start. But one thing I'll take note of is the candle that build up, that particular candle that breaks it. If the CRT low for it is not below this place, then I feel that, okay, it will still actually hold and markets might end up getting to this side. But for me, I want to see all this whole place taken. So going back to the same CRT that I've been talking about since, let's talk about the buy version of it. So I'm coming now. Let's talk about the buy version of it. The sell version of it. Sorry, we talked about the buys. Now the sell is also the same thing. For example, you still have to get one good candle. Now this, okay, let me know if this place where I have the trade. Let's go back to Onanda. Now you have to also have that same, okay, just like this guy here, this same candle, yeah. Now, but this time around, this one is actually a bullish candle. Now it has closed up. So same thing, you have to also acknowledge the highs and the low of that particular candle, which will give you your CRT high and CRT low. Then the next thing is you wait for the next candle that it opens here. Now this particular candle must also go up and then come back and close inside. Now once it's back to close inside, then of course you can wait for the third one. But one thing I actually advise is using CRT for the very first time and actually trying to master it. You can always wait for the third candle to form. That one will give more confidence. So now, if I wait for the third one, now what I want to now see this third one actually like coming down here and this thing and taking out and closing way inside there. Now, there's an example for it. Now, the example for it is on XAUSD. I have an example on this thing, gold. Today, though that one I didn't catch it. Look at this one. Let me let's see. I didn't catch that one. But if I'd actually paid good attention, then of course I'll have caught it. But I didn't catch it. Now this is the example. This one. Let me use another piece. Where's the actual? Okay. Yes. Now this particular one here. Now we had a CRT inside there. Now where did the CRT come from? Now of course, if you look at this particular candle right here. If you look at this guy right here, now you can see that this was the last candle, the last bullish candle here. Now this was it. Now this one, that's the high, and then this place here is the low, right on 4 hours. Now immediately seeing this now, the next thing that let's assume these two have not been formed. Yeah, these two have not been formed. Now, should in case, okay, and then I saw this second one. I remember this second one actually opened here. Yeah, this is the very tiny wick that I created just for this one. So the image saying that, okay, this guy has actually come back inside, and then the closure, this is the closure, right? And now the closure ended up inside here. Now the next thing I want to see is I want to see a buy. I want to see this particular one actually come outside and then be able to activate this key level. Now, what the main reason why I decided to use this example is because it's quite different from the explanation like a little bit. Now, you remember this one is actually the third candle. And meanwhile, we said the third candle is actually supposed to come in and close inside and not take anything out right here. Now, sometimes you might have your third candle like this. If you have your third candle like this, the only thing you must always make sure is that as long as it's just the wick that takes out this place and then comes back to close inside. But if per adventure, okay, this second one now went ahead after opening from here, went ahead to go and close above here. Like after closing above here, automatically this is no longer a cell CRT. Again, the cell cannot hold anymore. That cell is not possible. It's not possible at all. The cell cannot hold. For me, the cell is already totally invalid. So the next thing I want to wait for is just wait for a way to continue to buy. Maybe I wait for the next 4 hours candle and then I can look for a buy. But then since it came back to close inside here, of course I can look for the next. I can look for sell entries on lower time frame. But then let's say for adventure, I use only 2 candles, just like me. I already understand this to the level whereby you just first 2 candles set. I'm already okay. Now what will I now do? Going back to Malaysian MSNR, remember I can see that okay, this is a key level right here that has been formed. So what I will do is I will just take this key level, and you can see that this market came back to 3 diets. Now taking this key level on times like this, what I always do is I just decide to risk 50 pips. I believe that if it goes way above 50 pips, I don't feel that it will come back to close below again. And if you check this place here, this 45335 to 40, that's about 50 pips. I didn't get hit. So from here, I'll just continue my buy and be going. But then after waiting for this third candle, now what do we now do next? Now what we are supposed to do next is to go to at least 1 hour. They normally go to 1 hour. Some people can go all the way down to 15 minutes and then 5 minutes. But me, I prefer 1 hour. Now going down to 1 hour, let me mark the zone. Let me mark the zone. Yeah. So this one has closed already. Now this is the particular candle. Where is I wish this my premium is already active. So this now okay. Let's do this one. This is the particular candle. The candle started at around 7. Yeah, 7 a.m. candle. Now let's go back. Now let's trace it. Yes. So this is it. Now this particular candle right here. Now it will close at around 7 to 11. Yeah, it closed there. Now since I've seen that okay, this is the movement. Yeah. Now what am I going to use? Applying Malaysian MSNR to it already. This is where the movement ends. Let's where is that guy? Let me use our horizontal line to tell you where the movement vertical line. Now the movement ends here. Now that guy will close at 11. So meaning that okay, everything ended here. Now take this guy as where everything ended. Now since I've come, even before seeing that guy, immediately I've seen that this one now has closed at 11 around here. Of course, me I missed it because when I came to start analyzing gold was like around this thing 1. So the movement had already started. Me I already missed it. I didn't even bother to like enter again. Now what will I now do? Immediately I'll go to my line chart. Now going to my line chart, I can see this key level right here. Now this is what we call SBR in Alchemist. If you ever come across anything SBR in MSNR, SBR means support becomes resistance. Now just another name for a breaker block. They're just changing it. And if it's if it's for the other one, they'll tell you resistance becomes support, and then support becomes resistance. Then they're just changing all the nonsense, but it's still the same breaker block that is generally. So because even the whole alchemy something itself is still support, but just that somebody is telling us that okay, market must get back to this exact loop. This is the last place you must pay attention, which is like what gold did yesterday. Gold faked everybody, and then on 4 hours he went to go and use the alchemist key level to move up. That pen are idiot. So now, seeing this particular key level, now what will I now do? Now, what I will now come and do immediately is to come and have my order inside here. I just set myself back here. So I know that once everything starts, market will come back because that candle range must be valid. So I can decide to just take my 50 pips as usual. If I take 50 pips, or if I'm not taking 50 pips, I want to see where the key level ends on Malaysian MSNR. So since I've seen it, I just put it above the key level. If I put it above it, then I want to see market. You can see that market came back for it. And then if you go to this in 4 hours, you can see that it's the next 4 hours candle that did it. So take a look. You see that it's the next 4 hours candle that came inside. And currently this market is already selling. And at this point right here now, for that particular this sell for me is already over. By the time it takes out this is our CRT low. By the time it takes it out, the sell is already this is over. So at this kind of time, now maybe it's just when somebody's looking for like 1:2 that we just this and risk it, because even for us, this this guy here is already late to even enter for here for me. I'm always targeting 1:5 and all that, except maybe you want to use a tighter SL. And using a tighter SL might probably move you down to 15 minutes to apply the same CRT, the same CRT stuff. Now, applying the same thing might just, probably allow you to just put your SL above this guy here. Because on Alchemist, we believe that, okay, this one is another key level here. And anything that makes this guy be violated, then, of course, the trade is invalid. But then, most times, with the SL you see on 1 hour is perfect than that 15 minutes because he might still decide to play. So if you want to get 1:2, it's very, very sharp and you've gotten it. But then, if we continue to judge this market from 4 hours, I still see a valid reason for this sell to go all the way to this guy. Now, why is it coming to this guy? Now, we've left CRT alone. Now, this is now we using complete Malaysian MSNR. So let's now talk about that one alone. Now, we're talking about Malaysian MSNR. Now, what is Malaysian MSNR? Malaysian MSNR simply means Malaysian support and resistance. And it was that's the full meaning of MSNR, Malaysian support and resistance. It's the guy that brought about Alchemist that brought about it. And we believe that he's a Malaysian, so that's probably why he did all of that. You get. So now, everything they use there is very, very simple. This is the first one. This is this triangle key level. Then the A shape. Then we now use the next one that is the SBR. That's support becomes resistance. This particular one. Then the next one they use is the resistance becomes support. So this is the next one they use. Then the other one is the one they use, this which is the QM. The QM they also make use of that one too. The QM, that's this one. Let's say for the sales side, market takes out this guy. So maybe market takes out this guy and then comes here. We expect that okay, he's not going back to this guy again, but then there must be a liquidity. And sometimes there is no liquidity if you want to respect pure Alchemist. So it has used this one. Then for the buys to the same thing, market comes, take this guy out instead of buying from here, it takes it out, then goes up. So either take this one or probably not really take it out. Then we know that okay, it's from here that will push up again. So that's the entire thing they use in the whole MSNR nonsense. And then the final one is the open and close. But this open and close, my own advice on it is to only use it on higher time frame. And then it must give you a zone on lower time frame that has a valid liquidity. And I don't. If it's 4 hours now, I can mark out an OC open close on 4 hours that has no liquidity yet. And I know that if market comes there, it will respect it because why? Because if I go below like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I will see liquidity for that particular place. So which is what will now make your distance stronger. But then on 4 hours and on daily, you might not see any liquidity. But when market comes, it will hold it. So this is entirely every single thing that they use in the so-called this MSNR. It's just the same thing that we actually understand before. Because normal, all these ones like this, we trade it on a normal day. Cosmundo already makes us understand that okay, yes, this is Cosmundo reversal, Cosmundo continuation, and everything. We already know that okay, fine, this is it. But then it's just this ones that they bring as their own support. To know that once we see this particular zone, that's the place that we believe that markets will probably come and this thing shift from and give us whatever we want. So talking about it now on this, let's move down to the same gold. Now, if we are to judge and look at where this market actually went from yesterday, now you will see that this is the last triangle. Is it triangle? Okay, the last V shape, guys. And now this is our valid key level. Now, seeing this place now as our key level, I remember there's also another key level here, which is this one. And this one was the one that I used that I got hit out on SL. And the way the thing took me out, he came back to snipe this guy, this last one here, and they moved. So he entirely took this one as a liquidity. But then I didn't really get it because this place was a clear liquidity on lower time frame. But on times like this now, me on a normal day will have just set another entry here. And I'll use this one to recover for this guy. But then that yesterday, I just felt so because I was like, Azal now, why? You get so applying it simply means that, okay, since I've seen this guy here, this one here now might appear as my liquidity. And then now, since this one has appeared as liquidity, if this market wants to continue and maintain this alchemist level here, now it means that our next movement will be from this place. Now, since this place was where we're supposed to sell before that we didn't hold, and then we came back for that guy. Now this one has become a valid QM. So it's now a valid QM entry. So meaning that what I expect now is for this place to pull all the way down here. Then after pulling here, then I can see another push, maybe probably into this open and close that is here before any break from here might now happen. But then, since I've seen this one now, what do I now do? Now, what I will do next is to go back to my lower time frame. If I'm able to, if I go back to my lower time frame, that is when I can now be able to get the next thing to do. So let's go back to our lower time frame. Let's go to like 1 hour. Now, going down to 1 hour, now we can see something. Remember the same thing we talked about as key levels. Now you see that this particular place here too is still visible here. But then the place for me now where is stronger than this place, which I feel like might give me a lower SL, will be this H1 open and close. There is a open close now, which is an OC in Malaysian MSNR. That's MSNR, not Malaysian. And the end that is here stands for Malaysian. So now this is what do I now do now? What I'll just do next here is set an entry right here, and then wait for markets to come back to this place. So once it comes back, and I'm not really interested in this place again because I don't see anything that takes out this guy. Then of course we're not ready to go again. So I just want to like put my SL below that last guy here, and then just wait. So probably 1:5 as usual. And just wait. But then one thing is missing here. There's no liquidity yet. There's absolutely no liquidity. So the next thing now I'll be waiting for is probably to see markets coming down to either this side here or maybe around here, and then engineering a liquidity for me, which might be to like around this place again. If it brings this down here, then it will now come back for me, which I will now gladly this to take. So I'm still looking for one way that market to engineer some certain liquidity for me for here, which will now allow me to move. Now, the main reason why I feel like the engineered liquidity will come from there is because of what? Because I can see this open and close that is right here. Now, with the open and close, there is a retracement, which we saw here, but let's go to 30 minutes and see it better. Or we can even go as low as 15 minutes to see it better. Now, if we're down to 30 minutes, now we can see that, okay, this place is a support. It's a valid support level. And you can see it. The market has tapped into it already. And then there is a liquidity right here for it. So the only thing, this buy might not really be that valid for me for now. Because why? Because I feel like it's just a buy that will build up liquidity. Except maybe I have some extra cash whereby, okay, I can decide to like just take it to build up, to engineer that liquidity that I'll use for this my low that is that is down. So if I take it from here, then just probably targeting inside above this guy here, at least just probably a 1:4 and all that, then I'm done. So once I take it and I know that, okay, there's already a liquidity that is seated from here to this guy. And then of course I must always make sure that it somehow reaches 50% before I try anything this possible. And then yes, once that happens, we're inside 50%. So of course I can decide to take it. But everything that we've applied right from 4 hours is Alchemist key levels, and then which is also Malaysian MSNR, bringing it all the way down to 1 hour to be able to know the next movement I want to take. So the only thing that is different in this Malaysian MSNR is just like the changes of like the name and everything. That's the only thing that is different, because even me myself, I felt like it was a different thing entirely up until when I took my time to actually like understand it and see that, okay, there's nothing there. But most times it's just used to like get very, very tiny SL. Okay, now let's imagine this zone now. Let's assume this particular level here now. See that, okay, me, I decided that, okay, this one took me out. I said, okay, fine and good. Then I now said, okay, this particular one must snipe me. See as I took it. Now let's assume, okay, I took it because God and man, I don't carry this trade. So let's say I now took it. Can you see the kind of tiny, very tiny SL? See 4 hours SL. The whole 4 hours. This is where it will be. Yeah, see 4 hours SL. The whole on 4 hours, you're even getting an SL that is not up to 20 pips. See 4 hours SL. Then only to this place alone, we already have 1:15. Just to this place that he came to, 1:15 sharp. So that's just the work of that Malaysian MSNR, just to like give you very, very tiny kind of like risk and SL. And which is why most traders that trade it, they trade with zero spread accounts. Because if they go and trade with brokers that their spread is massive, before the market even move, you go don't take them out. So majority of them trade with zero spread brokers just to be like on the very safe side. And you can see from this place right here, market has not even moved anything at all. 1:15 already they show. That one you don't hit it, you don't enter. And if you want to go as high as okay, probably market wants to now move from here and go back to go and like create a new art. Them that are hold, they're already doing 1:60. Like very, and one thing about Alchemist levels, which is MSNR, is that if he wants to come, he comes like a very mad sniper. He doesn't retrace too much at all because even the SLA zone is very tiny. So he comes like as a very, very massive sniper, except maybe the times that probably something like a manipulation or something is around the corner. But without any manipulation, he just comes as a very mad sniper, just snipes his thumb. Once he snipes it, the movement takes off immediately. So that's basically how this thing is. So, boss, you have any question? Chief, you have any question? Abi, you know they here since.
Who that? Nambi they ask.
Do you have any question?
No. I no get. But get some things I get about later. I take class like this.
Okay. Wesley Alpha now. This guy don't come out. No, but mute, I beg. Okay. I don't think he's here again.